No, we don't get all the follows from the last stream. We get all the follows since I last time logged in. I muted them, so shouldn't be that many anymore. I think we already got everything. I think we got all of them. Good job. Good job. Venezuela situation has some developments. One of them was a telephone interview with Trump. And Trump threatens the new Venezuela leader with a fate worse than Maduro's, because Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president who's now leading Venezuela, didn't really play ball. So Trump is now threatening that there's gonna be consequences worse than Maduro, which is hard to think about, because what's gonna be worse? Like, I think being kidnapped in the middle of the night together with your wife is already kind of bad. So I think what Trump is now saying is he's threatening the life of the vice president. During a call, Trump, who had just arrived at his golf club in West Palm Beach, was in evident good spirits and reaffirmed to me that Venezuela may not be the last country subjected to American intervention. God fucking damn it. I told everybody. I literally told everybody that Venezuela is not gonna be the only one. And now Trump has said the quiet part loud. I literally called this yesterday, and there was a bunch of fucking MAGA idiots saying in my chat that this is not a invasion. It's about the getting rid of the dictator. It's getting rid of the drugs. Bull fucking shit. This is full American imperialism in plain sight. Like, they are not even hiding it anymore. We do need Greenland, absolutely, he said, describing the island, a part of Denmark, a NATO ally, as surrounded by Russian and Chinese ships. What a fucking idiot. He really, really, really enjoys chaos. And his dumb fans are just fucking clapping their hands like mentally challenged seals. Everybody who's a fan of Trump or voted for Trump is a fucking idiot. Also, they are saving Greenland now. Fuck no. Like, this is just stupid. I want to hear the call. I don't know if they're gonna provide it though. Yeah, the Atlantic has the exclusive. This is not the call. So in the call, Trump said that if she doesn't do what's right, she's going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro, adding that he would not stand for Rodriguez's defiant rejection of military intervention by the United States. EU all silent, all afraid of the USA. 100%. I'm kind of disappointed in the EU as well. Like, majority of the Asian countries already condemned the whole thing. And EU is just sitting silently watching. And as we now learn, Trump literally said the quiet part loud that they are gonna start invading other countries as well. So this is not a leftist conspiracy anymore. This is not something made up. This is what fucking Trump said. So it's interesting to hear all the people who were criticizing me yesterday that when I said that it's about oil and it's about territory. And people were saying that no, it was about getting rid of a ruthless dictator. What's the ruthless dictator in Greenland? Could anyone tell me what's the ruthless dictator in Greenland? All about oil, 100%. We do need Greenland, absolutely. It doesn't get any more blatant than that. So any Trump idiots in the chat could really, really come and defend this. And not just Trump. Not just Trump. Taking Greenland is about the US having more stakes in the Arctic. And natural resources, John. Greenland has a lot of natural resources, just like Venezuela has a lot of natural resources. Of course, the oil. Now he got Russia, China mad about it. Going to be fun. I don't think it's going to be fun, though. That's the thing. I don't see any fun in this. An unstable world isn't a fun place to live. Trump is a legend. Oh, across Europe. No. I don't think he is. Invading another country for natural resources and now threatening Greenland. So, and also threatened Mexico, Colombia, and Cuba on top of Greenland. Canada, yeah. Canada has like the top three. The top three. What do you care, Michael? What the fuck do you mean? I live in the same fucking planet as you do. You do think that? Do you really live in a delusional world that this doesn't have global effects? What Trump is doing. If you believe that, I'm sorry, but you need to go into a mental institution because you're clearly not well. I'm not gonna be that nice anymore about this topic. Like, if you can't see the bigger picture. Are you German? No, I'm not. USA does lots of propaganda. They for sure get away with this again, and like always. Yeah. Anybody know who Katie Miller is? I do. Katie Miller is the wife of Stephen Miller. And if you don't know who Stephen Miller is, then you haven't followed any politics at all. Katie Miller, the wife of Stephen Miller, decided to say what's going to happen next. Keep your mouth shut. What about Michael? You shut the fuck up. Do you have any proper argument? Michael? No, you don't. Because you're a MAGA idiot and you don't understand politics, so this is not your platform. They've been trying to oust their leader for 20 years. Venezuela can actually have a good shot at it. No, they can't, John, unfortunately. The unfortunate thing is, they only removed Maduro and Maduro's wife. But the Maduro regime is still in power in Venezuela. And now, the vice president that's actually leading the country was a Maduro fan. Handpicked by Maduro. So, what US did achieved absolutely nothing unless they go to war with Venezuela. So all of this fucking hype about like capturing Maduro, removing dictator, nothing changes. We made Venezuela great again. No, nothing changes. Would you rather have Kamala Harris as the global leader instead? Fuck no. Kamala was horrible. You're weak and so is your subject matter. I'm sorry, Michael, if you can't understand like a bit more in-depth way of thinking when it comes to global politics. I don't think this is your platform. Sorry. The US is running the country until they... No, they're not actually. The US is not there yet. I agree, Kamala was horrible. They will go to war, or rather we are at war with them. Look at USA actions, how it's not that of war. The flag looks good. No, it doesn't. What about Alicia Seeds? Sean the Sheep, thanks for the rose, and Alisa also for the rose and go popular. The US is number one. US is not there yet. And the vice president of Venezuela is now leading the country, Delcy Rodriguez. So even though they said that they're going to go there and manage the country until they find somebody better, they kind of failed on that already. So now they need to go to war with Venezuela. Because Delcy Rodriguez said that they're not going to accept US's like imperialism. Is it national US propaganda day today? Oh yeah, 100%, because I had Trump's picture on the thumbnail, so there's probably a lot of MACA idiots here. If the West is going to undo what restarted leftists have done to the West of the past, across Europe, like, you do know that majority of the right-wing people have been leading almost every single European country for the past 20 years. You just think everything from just a bit from the right is leftist, but you don't understand that there's more nuances when it comes to political spectrums. Left is quite far from right. I think they're like center-rightists. Center-right-wingers have been managing Europe for a long, long period of time. Quite sure the vice president will give up at some point unless Russia and China backs them up. Didn't Trump lie and say she's okay with him taking over for her to say, yeah, I'm center-right leaning in my politics. I'm center-left. I'm guessing you already spoke about, but Maduro stuff is crazy. Do you think he was kidnapped or taken in agreement? I don't know. There's a lot of interesting theories going on. Too many fools dreaming. Play W Trump, he will put you in place. Probably not, though. Trump can't even put himself in the place. I think Stephen Miller is actually leading the United States. Trump is such a fucking weak, demented little asshole, so I think sorry about that. But there is like a lot of people who think Stephen Miller is leading the country. I'm not one of them. But Katie Miller hinting what's going to happen next is kind of an interesting point. That's wild, bro. Probably agreement on inside work. USA going to take Greenland next week. You think that's a good thing? Finland are socialist. No, they're not. Finland isn't socialist. That's an American misconception that Nordic countries are socialist countries. Trump is our hero. Well, good thing then. So anyone who has a different opinion is a MACA, typical leftist logic. No. Anybody who feels like this is a good thing is a MACA idiot. Anyone who thinks that the peaceful country of Greenland should be invaded by US is a MACA idiot. This is strictly a channel about politics against Trump, or do you talk about things other than politics? I do usually talk about a wider spectrum of different political things that are happening around the world. But as of now, as of the past 24, 48 hours, this has been dominating the news. Neither is Estonia. True, Estonia is also not a socialist country. Do you think this whole Venezuela situation is Trump's plan? 100%. He's already said that many times, like throughout the years, that he wants Venezuela. And Trump and Putin are playing Risk. may your skies be clear and that you stay safe. What? Is Trump gonna take Ireland next? That would be interesting. What would you do if you saw a raccoon with big ass? I don't know. Take a picture and post it to you, LT veteran. I would probably take a picture of it and send it to you. With the caption noise. I'm neither left or right. He's gonna target Mayo. God damn, why would Trump take Ireland? I don't fucking why would he take Greenland? Swiss is also a nice one. And do you think there's no one giving orders to Trump? In my opinion, there hasn't been a US president that hasn't taken orders from somebody else. Usually by money, you know. Money affects every single US president and has been affected. Maybe you're too loud and get kidnapped. Would you rather have ice cream or you scream? Both. What? From who? Is it a secret? Do you think this is a secret that there's a lot of influence by money? You think that US pressuring Europe's DSA, the Digital Service Act, is a coincidence? Elon Musk pumped 250 million for that specific like push. Oil companies has lobbied the Republicans and especially Trump quite a lot. There's been so many reports of oil executives visiting Mar-a-Lago, which is kind of in line with like the invasion of Venezuela. So cherry picking for I'm sorry, Cross, for Europe, but probably your comment was censored, so I can't see it. I don't know what you put. Always everyone is pressured by money. Oh, 100%. Greenland is for global security, but that's not what Trump said. They want Greenland for US security. Don't you think the EU project failed? We are a puppet. No. Why is corruption very common with various governments? Greed. When you get to a position of power, if you're a politician or pick a lane, if you have power of influence, you are gonna get offers from different interest groups. And that's where your moral is tested. If a company comes to you and offers you a large sum of money, as we've seen around the world, not just in the US, but in Europe as well and in Asia, people are willing to take that large sum of money. Hey, Rufik, 6800, thanks for the 2 euros. Is Aussie your brother? No, I'm Aussie. Of course, USA's still benefit from this as their big oil reserves, but there's more to this than oil. There's literally not. The republic the US started was only supposed to be an experiment. Wasn't meant to last similar to Rome. Politicians just what friends and others that do what they... Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Iraq, Venezuela, go!
We're giving them full opportunity to do it the easy way. And when it doesn't work, we'll do it the hard way.
I've missed a few. Hopes everyone's doing well. It's been a wild 48 hours.
Do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
Chemical weapons is a threat to the United States.
Fentanyl poses a chemical weapons threat to the United States.
Al-Qaeda terrorists inside Iraq.
Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere.
We can get rid of Saddam. It could really begin to transform the region.
There's an opportunity to transform the entire region.
Bringing freedom and democracy.
Democracy and freedom
can serve as a
Beacon of hope.
Shock. Iraq, Venezuela, go!
We're giving them...
Boycott US. Yeah, we should. What's with sending rats there to kill snakes? What? What? What do Americans get for such high taxes? No free healthcare or higher education. They get military. And the rich get richer. The middle class and the poor doesn't benefit from the high taxes. It's the military industrial complex and also large foreign companies and lobbyists who benefit from those. Today I saw my cat shaking it, so I joined. Why should anyone pay for our education? Why should anyone pay for our education? Like, education is one of those things that I think like should be free, because educating children is one of the most important things to do. They send loads of rats there to kill off the snakes. I think the snakes will just get bigger. I mean, yeah, like feeding snakes with sending rats. That is kind of weird. But hey, Marco Rubio will tell you how things are. I'm not too educated on this matter. I've heard the news, however, need all the information to make an informed opinion. Yes, children, not secondary. I think secondary could be also as well. Like, there's nothing bad about that. Like, when it comes to the youth and children, anything they want should be free. they should be the #1 priority because they're the future of the country. Why does nobody talk about how Canada sent GTF2 into Haiti a couple of years ago? Education through tax works great here in Denmark. Oh yeah, it works really great in Finland as well, Laugi. I don't understand. They taunt other countries. Yes, some countries are poor, sure, but they give billions to war outside, sometimes with their own soldiers, and yet they abandon them later. I mean, that has been the MO for a long time for the US government, is start a war on phony reasons. For example, Iraq is one of the best examples. There was no weapons of mass destruction. The US went to war, spent a fuck ton of money there, and then claimed that everything's good, left, and now Iraq is shit, you know? You speak like you would know everything about this. Please be open for new knowledge in the future. No. This specific topic is kind of well studied for years, not just now. Like, the reason why US needs Venezuelan oil, Libya is another one, is because the type of oil that Venezuela has. Okay, Jay Walker, you need to listen now. US pumps a lot of oil, but the oil that US pumps, the US oil refineries can't use, majority of them. Majority of the US oil refineries are for heavy oil, and US doesn't produce that. Well, I think it was a fraction of a percent that they produce. The three biggest producers and reserves of heavy oil is Venezuela, Canada, and Russia. So when you say that they don't need oil, or it's not about oil, it 100% is about oil. Mexico also has a large reserve of heavy oil. JTF2 is similar to Navy SEALs and Delta Forces. Oh, did they actually send it to Haiti? True, 100%, but even the Bush at least tried to hoodwink the UN into sanctions. True. As far as the education thing in our country, the corruption and fraud with our tax dollars is awful. I mean, it's wild that the citizens of the United States is coming into terms that the government is corrupt and full of fraud in 2026, when rest of the world could see that for decades. But it's good that people are waking up. In modern history, there has been a single regime change operation that did not end in thousands of deaths. True, crude oil. Trump doesn't ask, he just acts illegally. I said it's not all about oil, and you said that's not true. I said, yeah, they didn't change the regime because Maduro's regime is still inactive. They are not sending fentanyl, which was the original reason why they wanted to, even though they're not indicting Maduro for fentanyl now. And when it comes to cocaine, they should look into like Colombia and other places a bit before Venezuela. Trump doesn't ask, he just asks, yeah. What about YouTube? Venezuela has around 20% of their oil reserve. Oh yeah, it's also vital minerals. Oh yeah, they have a lot of other minerals as well, not just oil. You think it could be moves to strengthen dollar? I think that yeah, Rumble's deal skin. You have a point there, and I also think this is how would I say it? They're making sure that the economy looks good next year by getting all of that oil money. I think this is kind of playing it safe, you know. What did they have? Like $18 trillion worth of oil there, or something like that. A huge amount. It kind of looks good if that money all of a sudden comes to the government and they can just show that the economy is booming, you know. Have you seen the clips of how the Venezuelan president handled protesters? Oh yeah, like the Venezuelan president wasn't a good one. He was a dictator. World's largest supply. Venezuelan government doesn't back Trump though. Ljungsater.
Thank you for joining us this morning. President Trump was pretty clear yesterday. He said the United States.
So is it going to be safer to visit country 2026? Which one? The US. It's more about making sure that oil is available to the world. And when you say to the world, you mean the US oil companies. Then if you, I don't know. I mean, Maduro's regime is still there in power, literally at the moment. So if you felt that the Venezuela wasn't safe to visit during Maduro's regime, the Maduro regime is still there. Hey, the Irish Science, thanks for the follow. What Russia and China gonna do? I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully nothing. This is a training ground for Greenland. Hopefully not, though. If they don't do this, the dollar not having a gold backing with limitless printing and lots of debt, implosion would be catastrophic. Invade Taiwan. Are you suggesting US should invade Taiwan? That would be interesting. If they make billions from Venezuela oil, they obviously don't have any of it. Canada sends our crude oil to the US to be refined. China as well. If they get Venezuela, it'll cripple. Trump needs to be removed and put on trials. It's disgusting. I never thought I would see this in my lifetime. Australia is trying to cut ties with the US now. Oh, no. Why would you say that? Like, across Europe, why do you want countries to invade other countries? Like, what's the fixation everybody has, like, on the right side of the political spectrum? To feel like invading another country is a good thing. Jack Claver, thanks for the follow. That like Russia invading Ukraine. Exactly. First time someone pronounced my name correctly in English, probably because we're both from the north. I could be. Venezuela has correct type of extra heavy crude oil. The US refineries are specialized for this stuff. Oh yeah, 100%. Especially the ones in the south, like Texas and Louisiana. Nora, thanks for the follow.
Is going to run Venezuela. Under what legal authority?
Well, first of all, what's going to happen here is that we have a quarantine on their oil. That means their economy will not be able to move forward until the conditions that are in the national interest of the United States and the interest of the Venezuelan people are met. And that's what we intend to do.
The reason why Marco Rubio is constantly mentioning the interest of the Venezuelan people and also mentioning that they would give some of that oil money to the Venezuelan people is because they kind of need to tiptoe around that they want it. It's classical like US propaganda. It's the same thing that Bush said about Iraq and what Obama said about Libya. And like the citizens will not benefit any of it. As a matter of fact, they're probably gonna end up empty-handed. Your president has breached international law. He should be arrested. This US is broken. 50 states that don't agree with each other and a president who acts like an emperor. I don't see Trump going after Greenland. The end goal is annexing Canada. Don, thanks for the follow. They are framing it as a reward to liberators. 100%. Not quite the same as Iraq. Literally the same as, like almost the same as Iraq, except Iraq was a known lie that they went there. Of course, we will soon see if this is as well a known lie, reason to invade Venezuela. You know, the difference between Iraq and this is like, it's all over 20 years since Iraq happened. And now we know that it was a lie. Oh, sorry, I meant to say if US hadn't done this to Venezuela, I'm not from US. I meant the Monroe doctrines, now they're calling it Trump doctrines. We haven't got all the information yet. We have a lot of information already. Are you American? I'm not. What are they doing with Maduro? They're trialing him. They're putting Maduro to trial and probably convicting him of the same sort of stuff that the ex-Honduran president did, except Venezuela has oil and Honduras doesn't. So Venezuelan dictator is not going to get pardoned, but the Honduran ex-president that was a drug trafficker got pardoned because they don't have as much oil as Venezuela. Trump is capable of anything. If he could attack the moon or Mars, he would do it 100%. Your opinion is irrelevant. Thanks. Kangaroo court, I'd say. I think it's going to be like They already decided, because all Rubio, Hexet, and Trump are already talking about it, that he's already guilty and being convicted before the trial even happened. They seized oil tankers a week or 2 weeks ago, but the oil fields are still there. They need those. Has to bill about the oil. Venezuela is like 5th narco exporter in the region. Not to the US though. If you research that, there's Colombia, Honduras, there's Mexico. There's a lot of different countries that are higher, but they don't have that crude heavy oil that Venezuela has. He's got the charge of owning. Oh yeah, that's a hilarious one. Yeah, he was charged for owning a machine gun in Venezuela. He was charged on a U.S. law when he owned a machine gun in his own country that he had a permit to own. That's just fucking next level stupidity. We were won 30 years ago by the Middle Easterns. We'd be next. I want to see the invasion of Mars. I would love to see that as well. Well, several heavy crude of oil refineries were in the brink of closure in the US, so it was pretty obvious the US would do this. This is cross of Europe, 100%. The ones in Texas, Louisiana, on the south of the US that actually are the oil refineries that process heavy crude oil. No, you didn't make that up. That is true. I 100% agree. Elon Musk already has equipment there. We could send Elon Musk there as well, to Mars. The full weight of American justice system, Pam bonded before the trial, innocent. Yeah. They don't have due process though anymore. Trump will probably be left in the cell Epstein was in. So guys, if you find oil in your back garden, keep it to hush. He went from no kings to protect Maduro real fast. What? I'm not protecting Maduro. E-Rock, you're completely delusional if you think. Could you chatters, you've been here for a while. A lot of you were here yesterday as well. Have I protected Maduro at any point? Are you in a metal ban? I used to be in a metal ban. Russia is gonna, after Madagascar, just after all this is domino effect. This is not the policy of a madman, unless by madman is understood the structural policy of USA. Yeah, I'm not protecting Maduro at all. I name my cat Maduro. You shouldn't, because Trump is gonna come and like kidnap it. Yeah, I was like, what buffoonery is this machine gun? Yeah. I mean, that was one of the funniest things I've ever read. Do you think that there will be a USD sell-off the coming weeks, or will oil prices protect the fall? If they get the oil. As I stated many times, like the vice president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, is at the moment in the lead. And she said that they're not going to comply with the US. They're not going to accept the US imperialistic ideas that they want to come and take over. So the US needs the oil. And then dollar would be okay. The US dollar would be fine. I'm not protecting him. It's about the way things were done. I can understand both sides with the limited information I have. Oh, yeah. Diplomacy should have been the way. USA won't be the reserve dollar soon. Maduro was shit. Oh, yeah. A few refineries have been shut down due to various reasons. 90 to 95% are still in use. But it's about those heavy ones.
So that leverage remains, that leverage is ongoing, and we expect that it's going to lead to results here. We're hopeful that it does, positive results for the people of Venezuela, but ultimately, most importantly for us.
There's multiple reasons why they took the oil. Calvin, thanks for the follow. Like, they were also changing the currency. They were doing business with foreign countries. Of course, yeah, Russia and China has been abusing Venezuela of its oil for a long time. So 100% like US wants to control that. They're losing when it comes to that. So now they're winning if they get the oil fields. BRICS is creating their own currency. If it's stable enough, that'll take over. They've been creating the currency for a long time. I remember reading it the first time probably around 2015, 2016, that they were creating their own currency. But it's been an ongoing process for a long time. And by the way, Trump is a bigger shit than Maduro. Catcalling the dogs are as hairy. Well, the gold price is skyrocketing, yeah, and also silver price is skyrocketing. No, well, it's not skyrocketing, but silver price is doing quite fine if somebody's trading with silver. Keep it from China. Why do people counter-argue that way? I mean, we can also retort what's the current status of Iraq, Libya, and Syria. It's chaos. There were violations under dictators. There are greater violences now. Oh, yeah, yeah. I do understand Rumble's diskin. Like, I referenced Iraq, Libya, and Syria yesterday quite a few times. Because the US went there, they liberated those countries from the dictators, took the natural resources, and then didn't give a fuck about those countries and let them go to shit. You know? So what is gonna happen to Venezuela? We don't know. We'll see. Are you a transformer? Yeah, I'm Optimus Prime. Thanks. Yeah, silver has gone up. Yeah, John, I've been monitoring silver quite a lot. Silver, it's not as much, but it is. I wish Hungary had oil that Trump might decide to free its people from dictatorship. Come on. We need to start. I mean, Russia has a lot of oil. Could Trump, like, if Russia decides to do a precision airstrike on Putin's mansion, castle, where the fuck he lives, then I would celebrate. Because at least Putin is a war criminal. What he's doing in Ukraine. And what he's been doing for their citizens for over 20 years. He wouldn't hurt his pal. Fuck no. Do you think China will answer with invading Taiwan? I hope not, but probably. I hope not, but probably. Silver is going up partly because BRICS are on a buying spree. That is true.
For us.
That's also the reason why, for example, gold got quite high a few years ago, because BRICS countries were buying it, because we were talking about the currency that they're been trying to make for a while, so they need a lot of like oil, not oil, they need a lot of gold. The 2027 China will attack. If they do, they will use this as an example, 100%. So if China invades Taiwan, does it mean we will finally afford good graphics card? No. I don't think we're gonna... Okay. You don't probably know this because we've been talking about politics quite a lot, but I'm a huge nerd. I've built all of my PCs for a long time and I love building stuff. As long as AI is such a huge thing globally, the prices of RAM are gonna go up and the graphics card prices aren't gonna come down. And also Nvidia announced a while back, like a few months ago, that they're not focusing on graphics cards anymore. WhiteFox155, thanks for the follow. PC gaming is over. Hey, Caleb, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. In this stream, we are PC gaming master race. And we don't talk, we don't take kindly to console plebs. Just kidding. But yeah, I'm a PC gamer though. But I do have a Switch. Well, my daughter has. But that's because I do other stuff with my setup than just games. So PC was just a natural thing, and it's kind of calming to build your own PC once you've done it a few times. I do enjoy building PCs. Was Ukraine another Western coup and installed a puppet leader, and the other one fled to Russia? That is what a lot of people are claiming to be, but I'm not one of those. Rum's tangerine back, a passage kissing door first on the left and one cross each. What will stop the US economy without Taiwan semiconductors? Nvidia won't be able to make the GPUs. Did you vote for Trump? I'm not from America, so I can't vote for Trump. I wouldn't... This is probably a shock to all because you're calling me leftist, but I would have not voted for Kamala Harris as well. I would have not voted for Trump. I would have not voted for Kamala Harris, and I would have not voted for Biden. I think the candidates in the 2024 election were horrible. All of them. I thought you were from the USA. No. World of Warcraft or Elden Ring? I have to select World of Warcraft because I haven't played a single Elden Ring game though. Last memory producers said they no longer care about small consumers, so prices are gonna go up. You couldn't pull off the same operation in Russia as easily. They're more armed with nukes. True. When you say there are more in nukes, you mean they have nukes. Who do I thank? Alvaro, thanks for the follow. Alvaro Flores. That sounds like the same surname as the wife of Maduro. Horrendous candidates. Oh yeah, horrendous. Brazilian pilot, I can't read whatever Portugal that is. John Haram, thanks for the follow. Are you against freeing the Venezuelan people? It's a Venezuelan issue. It's not a US issue. It's not an Irish issue, you know? And do you think the Venezuelan people are now free that Maduro's regime is still there? Gail the cat. Maduro's regime didn't go away. Maduro went away. But they have their vice president now, who was hand-selected by Maduro. So nothing changed. Do you think they're free? Are you against a woman being president? No, fuck no. I think woman president is fine. I voted for women presidents in Finland as well. I don't discriminate based on gender. If the candidate is good. Kamala was shit. If they had somebody else. Kamala wasn't a good candidate. Dark Souls blocks. What do you think about the war in Ukraine when it will be stopped? I don't think anytime soon. Iran's government is collapsing, that is true. Mitäpä tuumaat Trumpista, joka joutaa kortistoa? I hope really, really soon. Now I need to catch up with YouTube for a second. The problem with all this tech that we are scared of is that it consumes so much energy that we don't have the power grid to support. The United States would have a really simple solution for that, but the energy sector won't allow that to happen. RFK, which one? RFK or RFK Jr.? Using a chatbot over a simple Google search uses 10 times the computing power. Koskenkorva or absolute? Koskenkorva. We have proper questions now. Oh, I need to increase the size of my TikTok chat though. TikTok chat is going wild. Europe has had many female presidents. Yeah, 100%. The US has none. He had no plan after lifting Maduro, so they should have been left in poverty. Yeah, they are free. Do you see anyone from Venezuela unhappy? A lot of people. There's a lot of people unhappy. But there's a lot of people happy as well. Of course, the same thing happened in Iraq. The same thing happened in Libya. People were celebrating and people were against it. Usually people are against like the US stepping in because they've seen what's happened in the past. Thatcher was horrible. Yeah. Thatcher is a dividing personality. Kaja Kallas from Estonia, if they only would look at his father. TikTok Finds, thanks for the follow. Did you forget about January 6th? Ursula von der Leyen. Yeah, Ursula is kind of fun. Well, I'm off. Hey, Rumpelstiltskin, thanks for the thanks for dropping by. Hope to see you again. Good night. Good night. Data centers, I mean, only the people that were making money under the old regime that are happy anymore. Yeah, like the Venezuela wasn't a fucking paradise. Fuck no. But what Trump did change is nothing. At least as of now. They need to go to war with Venezuela. Because the current government, spearheaded by the vice president, said that they're not gonna let USA do what they wanted to do. So you'd think it's gonna be happy times for the Venezuelans for the next few months. Ashley, thanks for the follow. What's your take on immigrants and taking them in all the time? Depends if the immigration process is good. See you in Elden Ring, brother, crusading against them. I need to try Elden Ring because everybody's saying it's a good game. Well, welcome to the World War III started. Let's be real, the Venezuelan army are resisting an attack after what happened. My family are Venezuelan. Okay. Defund NATO, leave Western Europe to the Russians. Why? Are we talking about the capture of Venezuelan president? Yes, we are. What's a good immigration process? Like, you only take the amount of immigrants that your capacity can handle in a timely manner. That's a really broad. That's a really broad like statement, but let's say you have a capacity to handle. Adrian, thanks for the follow. You have a capacity to handle like 10,000 immigrants within 3 months period of time, like properly process them, have all the paperwork done and like background checks, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, but at the moment that's not the case in a lot of countries. They usually, the amount of immigrants that they are taking is way larger than the capacity that they can handle it, and that's when people fall into those cracks that they are in the process for years. Well, this is more of a US thing than in the Europe. In Europe, you're not in the process for years, but it takes way longer than it should take. Well, how did Trump get the no kings to support a dictatorship? What? We're not supporting dictatorship. Hey, the guy who's trying to become the PM of Canada has a Venezuelan wife. He congratulated Trump. Venezuela is perfect for guerrilla warfare. I would get flat in seconds if it had to be. Every country has had their people be immigrants at some times. The US is 99% immigrants. Oh yeah. Yeah, the radical left, like okay, John Haram, we need to, like, in the US, Democrats, okay, in the US, Democrats could be considered left, but if you move Democrats and Republicans to Europe, they wouldn't be that far off from each other. But because you have a two-party system, one is always going to be left and one is always going to be right. But when you have multiple parties, you will actually see that Democrats aren't even left-wing in European standards. They could be like closer to centrists, but even Republicans wouldn't be considered far right, like the Democrats are demonizing Republicans that they are a far right party. No, they're fucking not. If you want to see far right parties come to Europe, we have some here. So they are actually closer to each other, and they are more like, because there's conservatism at the top, there's liberalism at the bottom, there's leftist, and then there's right. So the main difference between Republicans and Democrats is Republicans go to the conservative side of the political axis, and Democrats go to the liberal side of the political axis. Not so much that they go from left to right. We have far right and far left in the EU. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah. If you want to see far left and far right, come to Europe. How's everyone doing today? Hi, we're doing fine, Jesse. The radical left and right are handshake away. Oh yeah. This is factually not true. It is factually true though. Venezuela has been hell for normal people with zero health system, massively corrupt and dangerous. Oh yeah. Middle left and middle right. 100% middle left and middle right. Is the AFD in Germany far right? I wouldn't... They are not the most right-wing party that I've seen in Europe, but they are pretty far from center. But they are not far right. Gail the cat. American liberals are not more central in Europe. Yes, they are. Like, Democrats have so many right-wing ideologies, and especially when it comes to economy, they would never be considered to be leftist. They are more centrist. But they are more liberal than they are conservative. Please oil up. Didi needs you to oil up. Beautiful.
National interest of the United States. We will no longer have, hopefully, as we move forward here, we'll set the conditions so that we no longer have in our hemisphere a Venezuela that's the crossroads.
If I'd align with the party here in Canada, it would be the PPC. Blu-rays, what's up? What's the PPC party in Canada? People's Party of Canada. So I'm more interested in, is it like more conservative or liberal? Because this is just like, looks like Republicans from a quick glance. Trump is the, okay. Based on border and economic policy. I don't trust those analyses of like a political party that instantly says that they're like right to far right. Like I'm all, because that doesn't really matter. You can be quite far, you can be quite right wing, and it depends so heavily. Are you like which side of the x-axis? Are you on the conservative side, on the liberal side? Would it be totally crazy if there was an Illuminati secretly controlling the West? I mean, I used to be a conspiracy theorist when I was younger, and I was one of those that believed Illuminati is controlling everything. But then I grew up. It leans further right, but not like crazy. It's a new chance for Venezuela. Can't go worse. Oh, buckle up, buckaroo. I think it can.
For many of our adversaries around the world, including Iran and Hezbollah, is no longer sending us drug gangs, is no longer sending us drug boats, is no longer a narco-trafficking paradise for all.
It's not over, Silvan, yet. Their current vice president said that they are not allowing American imperialism to steal their natural resources and take over the country. So they need to send more military there. So it's gonna get a lot worse. Potentially. And to be fair, we've seen in the past what regimes change causes around the world. So Maxime Bernier, the leader of the PPC, left the Conservatives because of corruption. Well, that's at least a good sign.
Those drugs coming out of Colombia to going through the Caribbean and towards the
It's about
United
oil,
States.
and that's a good thing. ExxonMobil was already
want a
there.
better future for
Not
the
only
people of
ExxonMobil,
Venezuela.
there was a
We
lot
want
of
them to
oil
have an
companies
oil
there
industry
already.
where the wealth goes to the people, not to a handful of corrupt individuals and stolen by pirates all over the world.
You grew up and realized that people would never conspire to control remaining control. Yeah, people would never. No,
Let me ask the question.
I just stopped believing in conspiracy theories.
Again, what is the legal authority for the United States to be running Venezuela?
Venezuela
holds power.
Venezuela is finally free. America will use free market to buy petrol, and they're not gonna buy petrol to the. I don't know where you got that. Hey, thanks for the hat and mustache, Blu-rays. They're not gonna buy the. What do you mean buy the petrol? They're gonna take the petrol and do whatever they want with it. They even said that. They have never mentioned that they're gonna buy the petrol.
What our goals are and how we're going to use the leverage to make it happen.
Well, we'll be messy, but 90% poverty and oil that the population can profit. Yeah, I understand, Silvan. I do agree with all of those. They currently don't hold a seat in our parliament, but the goal is to get into have an influence. It's too early to say. As a half Venezuelan here, it's the best thing that could happen for Venezuela.
He is on the corner.
Well, I don't think a foreign nation taking over your country is never the optimal. But then again, if that is the only solution that you have, you don't really have an option, you know.
Quarantine, I'm very simple.
What do you think about Greenland's future after recent events? I'm kind of worried because Trump is so crazy that he can actually go with the military and annex Greenland, that's going to have a bit more consequences around the world. You finish, yeah. Left parties don't win in America, only right or center right, same as Ireland, right always wins. That is true. And that's something that's kind of sad in Ireland because people are complaining that everything's shit, but then when the elections come, they're not going to vote differently. I think the definition of insanity is you try to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Cyrus, thanks for the follow. My mother grew up in American oil camp. She lived very well in Venezuela. Maduro, it wasn't technically took over. Maduro took over the country. The raid in Venezuela was a raid snatch on one of the drug dealer snatch, nothing to do with oil. Okay, House of Wolves, you are uneducated. You need to go and read. Crazy Italian, thanks for the follow. There are bodies here that there are policies and ideas. Many policies and ideas can cross party lines. People should not vote Paris, but rather vote people. Exactly, Cyborg. Exactly, Cyborg. Like, this is the best comment at the moment. I'm gonna post this comment from YouTube to TikTok as well, so in TikTok you can read this. Oh, isn't TikTok allowing me to paste that? Fuck. Okay, I guess so. I guess not. I would have wanted to post that, but Skywalk said, there are parties and there are policies and ideas. Many policies and ideas can cross party lines. People should not vote parties, but rather vote for people who align with their policies. That is 100% sure. I do agree with that. One of the best... Can I pin that comment? Oh, I can. There you go, Skywalk. I think that what is happening in Venezuela is terrible for Americans. Americans can flee anywhere. We trapped. There is no escape. Remember when Chevron tried to control gas prices? And they're going to do it again. Google grocery store Venezuela. We did them a favor. Crazy Italian, thanks for the follow. The majority of people do stuff because their parents did religion, politics, and sport. Oh yeah, I do know that. I've been living in Ireland for a few years already. Would you vote for a right-wing candidate if it was better than the left? Yeah, if it aligns with my political view and the important topics that I have, I voted for right-wing people. I voted for left-wing. I voted for centrist because I do exactly what Skywalk said. I vote for people. I don't vote for parties. Unfortunately, parties dictate what the persons need to do, but at least I found a candidate that is deserving of my vote because our ideas and our policies align. Don't release those files, start a war if necessary, condone all go down. That's how I avoid chasing. Yeah, 100%. Is it that bad that Venezuela was invaded because majority of the people there are celebrating? I don't, okay. This is one thing I'm going to say now once, and I hope that I don't need to repeat myself. If you only think this is a Venezuelan issue, you can live in that narrow-viewed mindset and be happy about it. The reason why I'm so worried about this is because this has global ramifications. How US did this and what they are planning to do. And this is going to create instability in the world, not just Venezuela. Venezuela is probably going to do okay compared to what this is going to cause globally. There you go. Bro, quit being a liberal. What? I don't think this was right. Others will follow. Yeah. That's how I feel about Maxim Bernier. The BBC needs a seat at the bare minimum. Look at Vance. He said so many things about Trump, but as soon as power was offered, he flipped. Oh yeah. Tulsi Gabbard was the same. Tulsi Gabbard's tweets are all around Twitter from 2019. This is Tulsi Gabbard in 2019, January 24th, 2019. The United States needs to stay out of Venezuela. Let the Venezuelan people determine their future. We don't want other countries to choose our leaders, so we have to stop trying to choose theirs. This is Tulsi Gabbard, the leader of intelligence in the United States, Director of National Intelligence, sorry. Tulsi Gabbard has been against invading Venezuela throughout her career. But of course now she's with Trump, so she can't do that. Do you mean ripples for other countries? Yes, I do mean ripples for other countries. How would that impact globally, justifying other superpowers in invading smaller nations? That is one. That is one. And this is going to start a resource hoarding spree around the world. Pista Husk, thanks for the follow. Canada has had 11 years of mismanagement. We need change. Maria Corina Machado just endorsed Edmundo Gonzalez Urrutia. But Maria Corina Machado, Trump said that she's not going to be the leader, though. executing your laws and orders in foreign soils. Yeah, that is also one of the biggest ramifications this has. Because if something's illegal in my country, I can judge you based on my country's laws and not your country's laws. This is what Trump do is because the oil know for the people of Venezuela. They know. Yeah. You have a Finnish accent. Good job, Sherlock. Trump opened a can of worms, 100%. Where do you live? Ireland. She's still running for her life. Oh yeah, you mean the opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado. Yeah, because Delcy Rodriguez is leading. Still. But we are probably going to see a second strike on Venezuela because what the vice president said. Trump even threatened the vice president of Venezuela that if she doesn't go with the US, she will face a worse fate than Maduro. If she doesn't do what's right, she's going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro, referring to Nicolas Maduro now residing. Have you experienced the communist life? What? Quinto dia. Yeah, suomalainen, yeah. Do you think there was any negotiation between Rodriguez and Trump about Maduro detention? I don't know. Based on Rodriguez's recent chest pumping, I don't think there was that much. Venezuela doesn't have the facilities to clean crude oil. I mean, they haven't really improved their facilities. If they have invested a bit of money like in their oil industry, they could have had that. Have you experienced the communist life? No. She fled to Russia already. Yeah. The WWE. Sorry. That's the poison from the Trump admin. Trying to kill me. We next Venezuela is just show for power, 100%. What's your view on the fake choices we are offered when we go for a ballot box in the US as well as your own country? Okay. Let's talk about politics. I think every single politician their performance should be evaluated maybe yearly, at least every 2 years. And if the people who voted for those candidates aren't happy, they will be ejected from politics and they can never return. Raise your hands if you disagree. We should hold our politicians accountable. That way we would have less corruption and fake politicians. That's fact. I agree 100%. Why not just direct democracy like Switzerland? That's not a bad idea either. You can dislike and disagree with how actions are taken, but actions is better than sitting back or pretending everything will be okay. I think every politician should have a term limit, like our president, these career congressmen are all cooked. Term limits, yeah. When is Trump jungle mega gold golf course coming? Venezuela dancing in the streets yesterday. There was Venezuelans also protesting. So again, if you want to see a similar situation, go and watch Libya, Iraq, Syria. There were people celebrating for dictators to die, and there were people against it. So if you think that has anything to do with what we're having a discussion about, you aren't listening. You're manipulating people. No, I'm talking about global politics. From the comfort of Western life. No, I'm talking global politics, idiot. I'm not trying to manipulate anybody. I'm just saying that if you narrow your view to only Venezuela, you don't understand the whole scope of the issue. If you want to try and catch me with just saying bad things about what US did in Venezuela, you are not listening what I'm saying. This has bigger ramifications around the world globally. This is about destabilizing world politics, the world stage. So, Conor McGregor or Khabib? I would say Khabib because Conor McGregor is a rapist, and every Irish understands that. Trump is supposed to be in his last term. Most countries allow 2 terms, but Trump doesn't care. Yeah, Trump already said that he doesn't care. Like, they are looking into like Trump having a 3rd term, but he's really old. He's 79 years old, turning 80 this year. So I don't think Trump is going to live that long. This Congress can't balance the budget. They should be ineligible for. Yeah, 100%. Prove that. I agree. If Congress can't balance the budget, they should be kicked out and they should never be in politics. Congress should lose their pay also if they can't balance the budget. We'll all... JD Vance 2028. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't understand it. Nobody wants McGregor, plus the Irish president has no power. That is true. Do you support what Trump did? Do I support that another US regime change? I don't support this action as I didn't support Iraq, Syria, and Libya. There are definitely good people in MAGA just trying to do the right thing, to be fair. There is always going to be good people in both sides of the aisle. But unfortunately, there's usually blanket statements. Even I am guilty of that from time to time. Greenland, if we're talking about... How many cats do you have? I have no cats. I'm allergic to cats. The Irish president has no power. Does anyone support anything Trump has done? I mean, okay, I'm gonna extend an olive branch here. I'm gonna say a good thing about Trump now. So pay attention. Who is next after Venezuela? It's probably gonna be Greenland. They are already like hinting it's gonna be Greenland. So I'm gonna say a good thing about Trump now. So you might want to mark an X on the wall. Trump going after the pharmaceutical companies for overcharging the citizens of the United States, even though it's just a handful of prescription medicine, not all medicine. That is a good thing. I've said it many times. If you want to criticize capitalism, look at the pharmaceutical industry. That is one of my biggest gripes. Maximizing profit on health. On the back of health. So that is a good thing that Trump is doing. He hasn't done that yet. The prescription prices aren't down yet. He promised 3,000% discount, but of course we all know that that's not true. That's complete bullshit, and Trump just exaggerates everything and lies. The example he gave was like, the correct percentage discount was 84.62%, but Trump said it's 3,000%, so we can't take that too seriously, but that is a good thing. Venezuela and America are both Mossad now. I know a person from Mossad, and he told me that their network is everywhere. I actually know 3 people from Israel. They used to be my co-workers. And 2 of them were former IDF soldiers, and 1 was a part of Mossad. So, fucking hit rate, right? They still live in Ireland. Hotler, thanks for the follow. Age is irrelevant. Dementia and age is not a causation. No, 100% it's not. But he is old, though. You don't know you're a girl or a boy, how you can talk about... What the fuck are you talking about? If you can't figure out if I'm a girl or a boy, you need to go and see an eye doctor and get some classes. I have some classes. I can fucking borrow you if you need to. Perjantai pähkinä särkiä, thanks for the follow. Venezuela was also backed, but not anymore. We will see what they propose to the Russians. But my colleagues was a captain and a lieutenant, like in rank. You look like a bit like Mark Rutte. Estä tollaset pellet. I've been called a girl so many times because of my long hair, and it's usually because people are bald and they're really, 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 really jealous of my hair. Brussels has EU headquarters doesn't mean Brussels run Ireland. What? What are we talking about now? If prices go down, we can't pay down the debts as easily. Prices must always go up. Where are you from? Finland. I live in Ireland.
And we get orders.
But that is if, like, there is no reason to charge $600 or even more for an EpiPen when you can still make profit if you sell the EpiPen with $50 or $60. If you try and maximize the profit, that is fucking greed. That is greed in its highest form. Are you from Finland? Yeah. Viva Venezuela, viva Maduro. Wow. Didn't expect that one.
Orders from courts.
Mari, I'm gonna warn you. There's a lot of people here who are against Maduro, so...
to go after and seize these sanctions. So that's, I don't know, is a court not a legal authority?
So is
okay, there's a lot of people who are...
Venezuela
Okay, I'll take that back. Now we have like 2 against 2. I think there was a few more, actually. I think it's like 2 against 4 or something. In Canada, an EpiPen is 200 for a 2-pack. Can get cheaper for generic. Oh yeah, like 2-pack 200, that's 100 per EpiPen. That's like $40 more than in Finland. Kyllä ansaitsi Maduro tämä. Yeah, probably. But do you think that if Mr. Maxikola, you're Finnish, I'm gonna say this in English, hopefully you understand, but you think that if Putin says that Alexander Stubb is responsible for drug trafficking and doing hybrid warfare to Russia, and they still kidnap Alexander Stubb based on the charges in Russia, you think that's okay? I was anti-EU a little bit, but after this we should stay together. We would have no chance alone. Yeah. How is Venezuela and US occupation now a good thing? I don't think it's a good thing. But unfortunately it's not yet, but we're probably gonna see at some point where it goes. It's an attack on Latin America's sovereignty. Oh yeah. Coke is gonna be expensive. Trump is gonna against Coke countries. I mean, Coke is gonna be cheap if you're Donald Trump Jr. But if you're not Donald Trump Jr., Coke is gonna be expensive. You know? Is a danger for Mexico. 100%. Trump said that Mexico should be worried. This is me quoting Trump. I think Mexico should be worried. That was a quote from Trump. And also Colombia should be worried. And also Greenland. Tom, I'm gonna say that you're gonna be completely wrong, but you can try. Go on, Tom. How do you remove Maduro without doing what Trump did? Why is it another country's responsibility to remove a leader from a country? Asun Losissa, taitaa olla aika muuttaa takaisin Suomeen. Elosissa, how are you? Trump has no real interest in stopping Venezuela drugs entering the US. Majority of the trucks are going to EU anyways, so he's kind of beating the dead horse now. This is what we voted for. God bless President Trump and God bless America. Nice. Oh, Baha, thanks for the follow. do you quite literally understand that there are millions in the streets in Venezuela celebrating? Okay, apparently I need to again reiterate myself. If you think that this is about Venezuela, you're fucking delusional, because this has global ramifications, what USA decided to do. And if you think that people celebrating and people going against it, and I reiterate, Maduro was a dictator, it's a good thing they get removed, but what they did is not correct. Because we have history that we can look at. We can look at Iraq. People were celebrating in the streets when they killed Saddam Hussein. Now look at Iraq. We have Syria. We have Lebanon. Not Lebanon, Libya. People were celebrating in the streets because they killed a dictator. And they got fucked by US. It's not my hatred of Trump. It's the hatred of fucking regime change. Stealing natural resources, invading other countries. Tom, you're a fucking idiot. And you deserve a lobotomy, like, complete. Hopefully you don't reproduce. Who said that I didn't answer your question? Cabbage Ghoul over here. See how you... What question did you ask? How do you remove Maduro without doing what Trump did? Diplomacy. And it's a Venezuela issue. Venezuela should do something about it. We've seen so many countries in the world push their government away. If somebody comes back to this and says that, well, they can't do that. There's been so many coups last year that countries have pushed their governments out of business, out of the governments, their leaders out of the governments. If you haven't followed global politics, shut the fuck up. Geekistan, thanks for the follow. Corbin, thanks for the follow. Will this stop the Venezuela RuneScape called farmers? Oh yeah, this is going to stop that one. Hey, Dop Tiger, thanks for the heart, co-popular. Vice President is now President, rebuke Trump. I know that. But people here don't understand. The Vice President said that they're not going to follow. Delcy Rodriguez, Maduro's regime is still active. Trump did absolutely nothing. And now, the Vice President who's now leading the country, Delcy Rodriguez, who is a Maduro loyalist, said that they're not going to allow US to do their imperialistic plans to invade the country and decide who's going to lead it and steal their oil. And now Trump is threatening her. So all these people like Tom here, who said that this is a good thing and Venezuela is going to be free, the regime is still there. Follow the fucking news. You said democracy, they tried. Funny you believe in diplomacy. No, it's not. Maduro is gone. What the fuck, Tom? Come on. The Vice President of Venezuela, literally, Delcy Rodriguez, is a Maduro loyalist who's now leading the country and saying, Tom Pure, open internet, thank you. I do agree with about half of Alice's opinions, but explain his position thoroughly. We need more. What? Trump is not playing games. Maduro is not gone. My plans for 2026 is hopefully not getting bombed by US. Funny how nothing is happening at all in Venezuela. It will end up in a war and one of the easiest victories through history for the USA. You think war is good? You think war is nice? Maduro isn't dead even, yeah. Democrats getting so mad about any action done by Trump. If Biden did this, then it's fine. No, it's fucking not. Obama did a regime change in Libya. Horrible fucking decision. Then we had Syria. Horrible fucking decision. This is bipartisan hate for the US meddling in other countries' politics. This isn't a Muslim country. It's gonna be the same fucking result then. Still. Venezuela isn't USA. Sorry, Martin B, but if Trump gets its way, Venezuela is gonna be USA. In Venezuela, we voted for a regime change, and we have for ages. Did anything change? No. Well, maybe you should have tried to like overthrow the government, like fucking. Okay, here's the list: Madagascar, Nepal, Peru, Slovakia, Bulgaria, Sri Lanka, Philippines. There's a big list last year that countries overthrew their government because they were corrupt or otherwise they were fucking dictators. So how about you try that next time? People sitting their ass and saying that they can't do anything. And then fucking Gen Z around the world did exactly that. I don't love a dictator. You said we should have a civil war. None of those countries had a civil war. None of those countries I just listed had a civil war. Where in Finland are you? I don't live in Finland anymore. I live in Ireland. But if you're delusional that this is going to somehow change anything in Venezuela, no, because the regime exists still. Maduro, yeah, they captured Maduro and Maduro's wife. But the Maduro regime is almost completely intact still. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Uns, thanks for the follow. How's Ireland? I hear the IRA is resurfacing. I think there's some like people who are trying to cosplay IRA. Yeah. Bro, these Yanks don't know where these countries are on the map. Probably not. Obviously, it's just happened. You're not so clever. What did Martin B say? Nobody appointed US to be a world police. They cannot remove all them immediately. Sending Maria Corina there would be suicidal for her. Trump doesn't even want Maria Corina there. You hate Trump, get over yourself. I hate US meddling with other countries' policies. I just listed a good policy that Trump did. If Trump does a good thing, I can call it out. For example, the truck prices that he wants to reduce. That's a really good thing. That's a good thing that Trump did. I can also list here quite a few bad things that the Democrats did. It's not that hard if you think about it. Like what Bill Clinton did in the proxy wars during the 90s. Kosovo was one of the worst ones. So you kind of can't catch me with this like hating Trump, because I do hate quite a lot of Democratic leaders as well. I don't think Biden was a good president. Kamala was a horrible candidate. So what's your next ad hominem? Come at me, bro. What's your next ad hominem? This is a US land and oil crap. Resources, baby. They need that oil, baby. That heavy crude oil. Martin B, thanks for the follow. You don't actually know anything about Venezuela and listen to a dictatorship regime. No. They need that crude oil, baby. That heavy one that they refine in the south of USA. Jan, thanks for the follow. Let's list all the regime change operations US did and how many dead. That's a really sad list to tell. Did Maduro have any arrest warrant in the Southern District of New York? His regime does as well. They will go down. There's a lot of MACA here in the US not happy with this. What is it with Paul's obsession without oil? Venezuela didn't attack any country. This is sad. I mean, we now know that you don't need to attack a country that a superpower can come and just claim you. As they're going to do in Greenland. As they already said that they're going to do in Colombia, Mexico, Cuba. I would like to see all of the people here protecting US actions today. I would love all of you to come and protect and justify when eventually Trump is attacking Colombia, Cuba, Mexico, even Greenland. Yes, you listen to a dictatorship regime, you just called Delcy the vice president. I mean, I repeated what Trump said in the press conference. With the US investment, we were able to develop our oil industry and be a rich country. US is not going to share that, though. Divide the people, promise freedom, steal their minerals, and leave a mess behind. Alaina Quilina, exactly. That's been the MO of US, every regime change. I didn't realize you were Venezuelan. I'm not. Yes, you listen to a dictatorship. You just called... Oh, okay, Lolo. Are you going to copy-paste the same thing over and over again? Maybe you don't speak for people you are not part of. I'm not speaking on behalf of Venezuelans. I'm speaking on behalf of like a person living in the world that this is going to affect. What the fuck? How many times do I need to repeat myself? Apparently quite a few. Do you think the cartels will stop the operations now? No, the cartel is still like operational. They just took away two, Maduro and his wife. Are you German? I'm not German. Syria thousands. Read what Lauki is putting there. FDR, 400,000 American death, record high debt. So you think you know more about Venezuela than Venezuelans? I do think I know a bit more about what the ramifications this is going to have globally. As I stated many times, Venezuela might have short-term gains about this, but this is going to impact way more countries than just Venezuela. And if you are that narrow scope that you think that this issue is about Venezuela, you can live in that delusional land. But this is going to have effect not only for Mexico, Cuba, Colombia, Greenland, but this is going to have global ramifications for other countries as well. This can still end up badly for USA, dragging many players, FBA, yeah. Lulu, I don't think you're listening. The West is strong men for Ireland. We can see by the stock markets tomorrow. Colombia and Cuba next. They kind of said that Colombia and Cuba could be next. Mexico as well. This changed the world. Oh yeah. That's the thing that a lot of these apparent bots and trolls in the chat don't understand is like, this has global ramifications. This is going to impact global politics. Which side will the UK, France, Germany take if Greenland is invaded by Trump, Denmark, or USA? So if this does not lead to many dead, it is unprecedented beyond belief. Well, there's already 40 deaths, so there is already death in this invasion of Venezuela. There's 40 dead. Of course, they are reported by the local officials, so we need to take that with a grain of salt. You're just saying nonsense. See how there's barely not anyone's agreeing. Like, what the hell are you talking about, Lolo? Everybody's repeating the same thing I'm saying. We did ask for a military invasion. No, you didn't. Was it legal what USA did? Well, if you think about this, Cartel Jr., is it legal if I do a crime in Ireland? For example, if I own a firearm that I don't have a permit, and the USA puts a warrant for me based on their laws and comes and gets me and arrests me in Ireland because I violated a law in USA even though I would not violate a law in here. Is that... Okay, gun is a bad example because guns are illegal. in Ireland. You know, that's if I break a law in if I break a US law in Ireland, do they have the right to come and arrest me? Especially because I'm not a US citizen. Hey buddy, I was your training in Ireland. Hope you're keeping well. I'm keeping quite well. Oh, I actually recognize you. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. You're great at proving a point. I mean, I try my best though. I try my honest best. Already China are moving forces towards Venezuela. Oh, that's gonna be interesting to follow. Like, how is China and Russia gonna? Because let's not kid ourselves. Like, they had a lot of money at stake. Because as many people pointed out, and as I pointed out as well, China and Russia has sucked the tit of Venezuela dry for a long time when it comes to oil. So all of a sudden, when that tit isn't available anymore, they're not going to be too happy about that. Trump has dropped more bombs now in a year than Biden dropped in 4. MAGA is delusional. It's okay, guys. I'm trying to diffuse the situation, so we are right. Greenland is occupied by Norway. Explain, please. What? Then why is there aircraft in the air and tanks on the streets? Oh, what's happening in YouTube? This is peak TDS. Millions of Venezuelans will be better off because of this. No, they're not. Dude can't even think. No American wouldn't have a right, but they just did. I didn't vote for Joe, and I wouldn't have voted Hillary. I've actually criticized Hillary quite a lot, and Joe Biden. Joe Biden wasn't fit to be a president in his term through 2020 and 2024. So, next ad hominem, David. Thank you. David, could you go with the next ad hominem? Thanks. We shouldn't take Finnish man seriously on TikTok. No, I mean, you can just go if you don't want to. If what I'm talking about is hurting your feelings, you don't need to be here. Some white guy, hey, thanks for the follow. Joe Biden was not fit. Definitely not. Joe Biden wasn't fit to be a president. And Kamala Harris wasn't a good candidate. So Trump isn't either. Hell no. Struvelli. The Venezuelans are happy for the freedom. What is the problem? I don't want to repeat myself. Could somebody write what's the issue here? Joe Biden was as sharp as a tank. No, no, he wasn't. People of Venezuela seem happy. Again, if you think this is a Venezuela only issue, then you don't see the bigger picture about it. I think he was okay for the first year. I think, 6 months probably. 6 months of his term, I think Joe Biden was probably still quite aware of what was going on. But you can pretty quickly see this sharp decline. And then the last 2.5 years was just a shit show. What oil companies should we invest in now? What oil companies are gonna... Exxon is gonna be one. Shell is another one. He was doing all right as long as there were children near him he could snip. David, do you have that ad hominem ready? We didn't go to war. Yes, you did. David, you're kind of delusional because they need to have a second strike there. Because their current government is saying that they're not going to play ball. 40 death. David, 40 death. Get your facts straight. What, was it right for the US to take it over? Oh, it's 119 already. Did you know Russia were using Venezuela to sell their oil to beat sanctions? I know. I just said that because of Russia and China abusing Venezuela's oil reserves and oil, they're going to be super mad about it. I've never said that's a good thing. But then again, Venezuela is sovereign country. So who they do business with is Venezuela's business. Biden, to be fair, warned about Trump centralized power. Yeah, yo, I have a long hair too. Can you say the routine to make it look so nice? I wash it daily with a really cheap shampoo. Like it costs. Cheap is subjective. I think it's like €8, but it's a big bottle, so it's that orange peach color L'Oreal or Elvital, depends on like what country you live. So did someone say it's not war? Yeah, there's that David guy in the chat of YouTube saying it's not a war. Venezuela equals 51st state, my guess. That would kind of make sense what Trump wanted. Cut your hair so we can take you seriously. Bye. If you can't take me seriously because I have long hair, you have an issue. The ones who died weren't Venezuelans, by the way. They were Cuban and Russian soldiers. There were civilians in civilian buildings that died. So next, try Pau. What do you think of them now? There was just a hand, like I think 1 or 2 actual civilians that died that were Venezuelans. Have you heard that BRICS is dangerous for the US dollar? I've heard that many times. So many CIA bots on this app fighting for their lives. White guy, that's what I'm thinking. What? What are we talking about? Who's... There's way too many comments here. What exactly specific do you think will be the bad outcomes globally? Do you think any could come from it? It depends how China and Russia and the other superpowers react to this. Did Congress declare war on Venezuela? No, they didn't. Imagine another country captured Trump and his wife and imprisoned them. That is like, if you want the fastest explanations of what this could cause, is because the US arrested, well, kidnapped a person in a sovereign country for US law breaking. That is like a quick explanation of the ramifications. So any country that has a warrant for arrest of any citizens, whether they're whether they're the leaders of the country, normal politicians or civilians, the country can go and snag them. Good luck, world. A dictator in a sovereign country, that is true, but still a leader of the country, alleged leader of the country. That's just one. That's just one. So how come they have... All right, and Angel, that is my wish, that maybe that will make people understand, because we know that there's over 100 countries that has the ICC arrest warrant, the international arrest warrant for Netanyahu. And because what Trump did, there's actually a green light for the countries that have a warrant for Netanyahu to arrest Netanyahu. To be fair, that would be ironic that if that happened. You're so bad faith. Explain, please. Israel are allies of USA, I know. Oh, please shut the fuck up about Netanyahu. I wouldn't. Netanyahu is a war criminal who enjoys killing children. If you don't like that, you can leave. I can't actually see. Oh, Synth fans. Who is in your chat? Sounds like a lot of jerks. Yeah. Synth fan, there's a lot of people in TikTok and in YouTube. Sorry, I had my TikTok chat extended over the Twitch one. Maduro ended the chat, probably. Israel can do whatever they want. It's disgusting. I think so too. I think like if you take enjoyment in killing children and women, you're a horrible person. And if your government is constantly reflecting that, like calling the people they are killing as subhuman vermin and having that sort of like, 1930s Germany talk. I think that's a bad person. I personally think the oil is not the root cause. It has more to do with taking action against China and Russia. That is actually Skywalker like a good thought process there. I've given that quite a lot of thought as well. Because as I've explained, like Russia and China has a lot of interest in the oil. They've been buying the Venezuelan oil for a long time. So could be also that USA just wants to take that business for themselves and see how they react. Tell me, are you Dutch? I'm not Dutch. The BRICS, that's the real reason. Blackmail. Grönland, China and Russia are there for the oil also. Yeah, exactly. Johnny Bravo. They are not there for... Oh, you saw that that video. Oh my God, that's the quote. Johnny Bravo, that's a direct quote from that one video that's been going around in TikTok and in Twitter. Yeah, well, Putin, you don't get me started on Putin. Putin is a fucking war criminal as well. But don't get me, like, I'm Finnish, so that is my jam. If we want to talk about Putin, I can spend hours of talking about it. Pidä hauskaa toverien, kestä tätä enää, niin pitää lähteä turhaan riidellä näitä aivokuolleiden kanssa. You tried, Eko, you tried. They found what rich country to join BRICS. Why are Israel so influential in the USA? Because, well, money. USA funds quite a lot of what Israel is doing. And they are allies after all. Benjamin, thanks for the follow. AK60506, thanks for the follow. They didn't kidnap him. Well, they kind of did because US laws don't apply in Venezuela, so you can't really force your laws on a sovereign country. You look like... No, let's not start with that Dart player stuff anymore. What country are you from? Finland. BRICS went live a few days ago. I quite like Finnish president. He's quite cool. Alexander Stubb is quite nice. I also voted for him. And Alexander Stubb was that one right-wing politician back in the day when he was still a normal MP that I voted as well. I think Alexander Stubb is quite nice. USA broke Venezuela law, among others. Oh, yeah, 100%. Is it true Epstein alive and hiding in Caracas? Matt, I hope that is true. I don't agree with all of your assessments. Probably not. Like, that's the thing. Like, we can disagree and agree on some things. We don't need to agree on everything. I hope Epstein is alive and hiding in Caracas, and that's the reason why Trump actually attacked it. But I think the issue here is like the main issue of the discussion we're having at the moment is like people are making assumptions without really listening or asking. Like, I have a lot of right-wing views, but I also have a lot of left-wing views. That's why a lot of chatters who's been here for a long time calls me central leftist, which is not like that far from the truth. And like, I give Trump credit when Trump does good things. But then again, I criticize Trump, just like I did with Biden, just like I did with Obama. Even Bernie Sanders has really bad takes, and I'm a really big fan of Bernie Sanders. But Bernie Sanders is not what Democratic Party is. That's why the Democratic Party doesn't like Bernie Sanders. And I'm not American, so it doesn't really make a difference. Unbiased. If a politician does good things, I can give them praises. If they do bad things, I can be critical of it. Trump reducing the prices of pharmaceutical products is a really fucking good thing. I think it's disgusting that companies are making maximum profit on the back of people's health. That is disgusting, and it's a good thing that Trump is doing. Then there are other things that Trump is doing that I can't align with. That's the main difference between what majority here are talking about. Because everybody's just sitting in their bunker, honing in one perspective of the issue and hammering that down and not even paying attention to what's happening elsewhere. Reduced it by 1,600%. If you agree or disagree with someone on everything, then you can't thinking, oh yeah, 100%. Here, Johnny Bravo. Trump has friends in Venezuela. They are inappropriate, though. Finland have 2 haters, too. We aren't vulnerable like before. We stand up to anti-Semites. Johnny Thunder, I'm not an anti-Semite, though. I have nothing against the Jewish religion. I have nothing against the people in Israel. I do have a bit of an issue against any government that is willingly killing innocents. Whether it's Russia, I have an issue with their government. I don't have an issue with Orthodox Christianity or the people of Russia. Let's take the ex-prime minister of Bangladesh that killed 1,500 students. I don't have an issue with the citizens of Bangladesh, but I do have an issue with the ex-prime minister of Bangladesh. Let's take fucking China, for example, killing Uyghur Muslims. I don't have an issue with the Chinese people. I have an issue with the government. If you are that narrow-minded that you can't differentiate those, I can't really help you. But that doesn't make me anti-Semitic. Right? How do I know what you anti-Semites don't scare me, you? But Johnny Thunder, you don't really do anything with that other than show me that you're really ignorant when it comes to like Hamas is a terrorist organization and they should be tried for crimes against humanity. Yeah. What's your next argument? Anybody who's doing crimes against humanity, anybody who's doing war crimes, any terrorist organization should be destroyed from the face of the earth. Also, any government that is committing war crimes, the leaders of that government should be also got rid of. Well said, can't call out them for what they're doing without being called an anti-Semitic. Like, I'm an atheist. I have no issue with any religion, which is rare for an atheist, you know? Because usually you see atheists that wants to abolish religions and wants religions to die out. I'm not one of those because I understand that people might need comfort or belief to help them with their daily lives. I have no issues with any religion. If you want to believe, that is okay. Any of my criticism of any government is nothing to do with religion. If I criticize Iran, which I have done quite a lot, it's not about Islam. If I criticize Israel, it's not about Judaism. If I criticize fucking United States and Trump, it's not about Christianity. How hard is that to understand?
Right now.
Do you think this sets a precedent for other major powers to start collecting their own territories? Shane, I do think that, unfortunately. He said he didn't seek approval to attack us. They wouldn't approve, so he attacked. I accidentally hit enter on my previous comment before I completed it, so follow up. Sorry. No worries, no worries. It's the end of world's order mafia. I think we just created a new mafia, though. Yeah, Russia and China will use this to maximum, yeah. The DOJ gave the green light. They did, but Pam Bondi is one of the worst. The Venezuelans are in the streets cheering, tell me why this is bad. I don't like repeating myself, I've done that quite a lot. Are you Somalian? Yeah, of course I am. Fucking stupid question. I would argue Russia is collecting Ukraine and China is looking to collect Taiwan. They went to take Greenland. Oh yeah, Tony, thanks for the follow. I mean, they kind of openly already admitted that they want Greenland. Like, I'm gonna now read what Trump said. This is Trump today, before he was going golfing. We do need Greenland, absolutely. I mean, anybody wants to throw in and find what's the deeper meaning of that? Morale is Kaputski and world going down the drain. Why USA hates South Africa now? Elon Musk, I would say. Elon Musk bought Trump with hundreds of millions, so I think that's the reason why they're gonna hate it. He kidnapped and terrorized killer 400 people, 134 children. Trump is really testing the world. He won't stop in Caracas. Oh no, he already said that he's gonna do the same thing in Colombia and Mexico and Cuba and Greenland, so sadly no, Venezuela isn't free. Well, the Maduro regime is still in power there, so nothing's changed yet. Trump will lose interest in Greenland when he finds out it's not exactly golf course material. I mean, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed anyways. Hey Van Roy, thanks for the follow. We don't trust West media, of course you don't. Trump is mentioning Greenland just after Venezuela to push the threat. Yes. Do you foresee any intervention from Brazil? I think Brazil was kind of the most vocal against this. Maybe looking to impose their influence on South America. If I was Lulu in Brazil, I would also be a bit worried. Trump isn't a huge fan of Lulu. So I would be worried as well. I don't believe what Trump says, just like he thinks he's going to make Canada the 31st state. A bag of pedophiles want to take countries illegally. You cannot trust Trump. Russia's demographics are terminal. Russia needs the Polish gaps so they can fight the battle of Thermopyl 2.0. Ukraine's just the supply lines to take the valley of Poland, Moldova, and also control of the Black Sea. Like, well, not even further control the Black Sea because they already have their feet in the Black Sea, but even further control that. We won't go to Brazil though. Wouldn't be that sure about that. Trump is looking for criminal charges on everyone he doesn't like. Yeah, then you can't really sleep well. You need to sleep one eye open. Gripping your pillow tight. Exit light. Enter night. Fucking enter Sandman. Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, everyone run by narcs should watch their backs. No, well, Rob Martin, is there narcs running Greenland? Please, if you make the claim, please to explain that as well. US jets were in the air today from Colombia. That is true. And also there were planes heading towards Europe. Greenland is some freedom next. Okay, Brazil are too big and powerful. US jets were in the air today from Colombia. I understand all you're saying, but believe Trump will do good by Venezuela. Hey, I'm gonna again extend an olive branch here. If Trump does good for Venezuela, and you come to this stream, and you don't see me saying, good job, Trump, you can call me out. But as I stated just literally 5 minutes ago, and we see it already, like I already praised Trump for the pharmaceutical prices, discounts that he wants to do. When leaders and governments do good, I give them praises. When they do bad, I talk about them and criticize them. So if I go against that, that would mean I'm a Trump hater. But if Trump actually does well to Venezuela and doesn't screw them over completely, you will hear me giving praises to Trump. Because I don't have any party affiliation with Democrats or Republicans. I don't have any party affiliation. Two reasons for wanting Greenland. Military closer to Russia, potentially rare earths. The minerals are quite like nice. If so, am I a citizen now? Yeah, you're a citizen of Venezuela. The pedophile wants to send his terror army to Mexico. Trump is smarter than they make him out to be. I mean, I wouldn't use that word though. Like smarter with Trump. Maybe when he was younger, but that is even stretching the definition of smarter. Because Trump's cognitive skills isn't the most sharpest at the moment. He's 79. He's calculated. He definitely isn't. He has a good team. He doesn't know maths to be calculated. He doesn't know how to count. I'm just messing with you. He knows how to make money. But he doesn't know how to count, though. KKK, thanks for... Oh, fuck. Yeah, thanks for the follow. Need to be worried about that. Great power comes great responsibility. What Trump wants is for the good of most people, not like China or Russia. People should understand that. We'll see about that. He can count to billions. Some say the number is even higher. Hi, bro. Listen to the song by Kazakh artist Scriptonite song This Is Love, please. How many billions you made? What? I wouldn't put smart and Trump in the same sentence. Trump's haters are so leftist. But I mean, Trump doesn't know maths. Like, that's not a secret. US made tons of money from Trump, let's admit it. Trump made a lot of money from Trump. Wouldn't call it US, though. He knows how to count, just like to add zeros. I mean, it's wild to me that none of his admins are correcting him with numbers ever. Because he misuses numbers all the time. Like, literally all the time. Israel made a lot of money from Trump. Could be also. Trump is doing better than any of the least 6 presidents. Ooh, that's a bit of a... Did Trump ever read Mein Kampf? I don't know about that. You should probably ask Trump about that. Why are you asking that? Why are you asking that? That's so fucking sus. Maduro getting oily with Diddy up in the cell. Yeah, they are staying in the same prison. That's wild. It's here, it's now, it's done. Next Democratic president will inherit large oil reserves. I would be amazed if he read anything, to be honest. Yeah. But it's like, hopefully tomorrow we're gonna discuss another news. There was briefly some hilarious news to read. But as of now, we have only Venezuela situation. I think nothing's gonna happen. No, tomorrow's Monday, so it's gonna be Trump's press conference day. So we're probably getting more information tomorrow. Maduro and Larpolini, thanks for the follow. Cuba getting ready to come up the path next. I mean, unfortunately, yeah, Maduro isn't in for their dicks. I'm pretty sure that they said that they're staying in the same prison, like Maduro and PDD. Does anybody know Spanish? Who's a bigger oil reserve? Venezuela or Maduro's new cellmate Diddy? I mean, Diddy had a lot of oil. Diddy had a lot of oil. Cuba is safe. I mean, no. Both Rubio and Trump threatened Cuba. Chucha, thanks for the follow. We have a joint statement from Brazil, Chile, and Colombia, and Mexico, and Uruguay, and Spain. But I don't know those. I don't know Spanish. That's a bit of an issue. What if I go to the official site and ask Croc? Or I'll do this. All right, are you ready, guys? Here's some breaking news. This is literally, I don't know, well, this is a few hours ago. Statement from Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Uruguay, and Spain regarding the events in Venezuela. The governments of Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Uruguay, and Spain, in light of the gravity of the events occurring in Venezuela, are reaffirming their adherence to the principles enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations, jointly expressed the following positions. The governments of Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Uruguay, and Spain, in light of the gravity of the events occurring in Venezuela, and reaffirming, okay, that's such. Number 1, we express our deep concern and rejection of the military actions carried out unilaterally on Venezuelan territory, which contravene fundamental principles of international law, particularly the prohibition of the use and threat of force and respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of states enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations. These actions constitute an extremely dangerous precedent of peace and regional security and endangers the civilian population. Are we still listening? It's going to continue. Second point. I heard somewhere that Maduro is CIA, so America, he wasn't a bad lad. Give him another chance. All right. Second point from Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Uruguay, and Spain. We reiterate that the situation in Venezuela must be resolved exclusively through peaceful means, through dialogue, negotiation, and respect for the will of the Venezuelan people in all of its expressions, without external interference and accordance with the international law. We reaffirm that only an inclusive political process led by Venezuelans can lead to a democratic, sustainable solution that respects human dignity. Number 3. We reaffirm the character of Latin America and the Caribbean as a zone of peace built on mutual respect, the peaceful settlements of disputes and non-interventions, and we call for regional unity beyond political differences in the face of any action that jeopardizes regional stability. Likewise, we urge the Secretary General of the United Nations and the member states of the relevant multilateral mechanism to use their good offices to contribute to the de-escalation of tensions and the preservation of regional peace. And number 4, the final piece. We express our concern regarding any attempt at government control, administration, or external appropriation of natural or strategic resources, which is incompatible with the international law and threatens the political, economic, and societal stability of the region. The signatory countries are Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Spain, Mexico, and Uruguay. That was a long fucking read. If you want to read that. Oh, I can't post links. God fucking damn it. This was posted in every single country's official site, like governmental sites, from Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, Uruguay, and Spain. When people stop suing the system and making the working class pay, the war can be done. Yes, but USA claims Venezuela is under its rule now. They may pay US tax in oil. You can't post links. I know. I would have wanted to. Venezuela is a great country, but flooded also with corruption. That is, Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. Embellishment is the name of the game. But yeah, that's literally what those countries said. Did I miss anybody meanwhile? So we are living in interesting times. Oh, what the fuck did what the hell did Russian embassy want? Yeah, I don't think Russia has that much of a right to say anything about this. If only I knew Spanish. President Gustavo from Colombia, you're not alone. Here you have your government team and the people who love you and will support you because we recognize in you that the democratic charter and the tireless love of the peace of Colombia and the world. Angie Rock Reader. Oh, okay. Better to be in American influence than Russian, true. If I need to choose from one of those, yes. They don't care about, they're the only people who didn't do something about it. Latin countries and Spain, that is true. It will be much, much worse. Trump's gonna take every small country and fix their government and make them profitable but partnered. I mean, 70% Americans live paycheck to paycheck. True. So the response was basically, we don't like... Yes. Venezuela could be as rich as Saudi since that Google's grocery stores Venezuela. I think you've posted that quite a few times. Russia has no right, but might has will to say Maduro was training in RUPs. Oh yeah, I know that. If you put someone like El Salvador president, then that would be fine, otherwise no. What's his name, the young guy? Which young guy? I'm not that young anymore. Oh, you mean the El Salvador president? What the hell was his name? It's this guy. Nayib Bukele. Bukele. Russia don't trade with Venezuela. They do, though. Oh, the crypto guy president, yes. Exactly that guy. %1 the wealthy, 10% middle class, 90% lower class. Shout out to Trump. US attack on Venezuela raises fears on future Greenland takeover. And crypto guy Bolivian president could be. He's not that bad. He's only made folk disappear just like a magician. Guy's got talent. Delcy Rodriguez has the lead now and was the vice president, so it's not the US. Johnny Bean, I've said that many times, but people have said to me that that's not true, but it is true. Delcy Rodriguez is leading at the moment. As I said before, it's done. Everyone can argue about right or wrong, but the more important issue is, can any good come out of it? There might be a option, yes. Happy New Year. How was your Christmas? Sean, I was sick. I was sick throughout the Christmas week. Sorry, Sean, there's so many comments in all the 4 platforms. So, but yeah, Christmas was fine. I was sick throughout the Christmas. I just got better before New Year. And I think I'm becoming sick again. Venezuelans I've talked to are so happy about just worried another dictator will take power. I mean, it's probably going to be somebody that, well, it's not going to be somebody, but Trump already said that they're going to pick who it's going to be. Or Venezuela is going to become the 51st state. That could also be one option. The US intends to seize the vast oil reserves of our country, the largest in the world, through the use of military force. Venezuela will remain firm in its defense of its natural energy resources. Nothing will stop us. This is Vice President of Venezuela. Pro what America is doing. They're playing war. They're playing games. Peace out. Hey, Skiwall, thanks for the dropping by, and thanks for that really, really good comment that you left. Why isn't Puerto Rico 51st state? Maybe Venezuela will be the same. She's tough. Most Venezuelan citizens say they don't want to be a colony again. That's unfortunate. Please take Modi too. Yeah, I do think so as well. There's a lot of live streams from Venezuela of people there celebrating. I mean, C11, yeah. There were people celebrating in Iraq as well. There was people celebrating in Syria and Libya. Every time there's going to be a group. If you kidnap Trump, there's going to be people celebrating that Trump is kidnapped. So that's like one of the worst arguments. If Trump is kidnapped by Putin, there's going to be half of the country celebrating and half of the country protesting. Look, we took Venezuelan president and we're sorry, but anyway, fair is fair to get ours. I understand your point, but it's more than just a few groups of people everywhere that I've talked. Yeah. Like, Maduro wasn't a good president. And let's be fair, he wasn't a legit president either. He was a dictator. So, if America is playing game, what China and Russia are doing? Playing the same game. The new generation are not aware how deceptive politics can be. What? I read it all, I get it. Is Venezuela celebrating on other countries like US, Spain? Just joined, so only now hearing how the convoy is going. It's going interesting. The CIA funneled their money through Venezuela. He's trying to cut off the money to deep state. We want a new prime minister, but this shit is not going. This is from the statement by the Premier of Greenland, Jens Fredrik Nielsen, January 4th. Let me state this calmly and clearly from the outset. There is neither reason for panic nor for concern. The image shared by Katie Miller is the wife of Stephen Miller, depicting Greenland wrapped in an American flag changes nothing whatsoever. Alisa, thanks for the roses. Our country is not for sale, and our future is not decided by a social media post. That said, the image is disrespectful. The relations between nations and peoples are built on mutual respect and international law, not on symbolic gestures that disregard our status and our rights. We are a democratic society with self-governed free elections and strong institutions. Our position is firmly grounded in international law and in international recognized agreements. This is not in question. Oh my god. Naalakker Suisut, government of Greenland, continues its work calmly and responsibly. We engage in dialogue, safeguard our interests, and uphold our international rules that also bind our partners. There is no reason for panic, but there is every reason to speak out against the lack of respect. And this was the Premier of Greenland, Jens Fredrik Nielsen. Russia is trying to save its country by mitigating its demographic problem with geography. Russia has no choice but to take Poland. What? No, I wouldn't fuck with Poland, though. The Venezuela look like Dr. Disrespect, the gaming stream. I know who Dr. Disrespect is. But if he takes Greenland, wouldn't that be Article 4 of NATO, since Greenland is Danish? Yes, it would. It definitely... Article 5, sorry, yeah. Not sure what you're trying to say. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Have you seen that Trump already went on and said if the VP doesn't cooperate, she will have it worse? Yes, I have. And I quote, if she doesn't do what's right, she's going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro. And this was Trump today talking about Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president of Venezuela, talking back on Trump and the United States, saying that they are not going to allow USA to achieve their imperialistic goals of taking over Venezuela and the oil. What the hell is going on, bro? A lot of things. Why someone willing celebrates being someone else's colony? Like, people only see the short-term gains usually, especially if they've been pushed down for a long time. And that's not just like, now we need to again broaden our scope. That's the reason why people were celebrating in Iraq, in Syria, in Libya, and even in Lebanon, Egypt, in a lot of countries, when people came and said that they're going to liberate them. They were happy for a while until they realized that, hey, what the fuck is this? Hi from Turkey. What up, Mustafa? USA doesn't want Venezuela. That's the best joke ever. The USA trying to overthrow another country. The list is so long. I mean, it is quite long. And it's all for the same thing. Weapons of mass destruction all over again. Oh yeah. Some of us are old enough to remember that. And that makes me fucking old. Sorry about that. Do Venezuelans have an army? They do. What do you think about Golden Dome? Is it going to work? It's a good... I mean, it's just Trump... Oh my God. Wanting to always one-up. Because the Israeli government has an Iron Dome. We can't call it Iron Dome. So what is better than iron? Well, gold is better than iron. And... Trump screwed up one country, now he wants to screw up another. I'm 25. I don't personally remember, but I've read about all that bullshit. That's one of the weirdest things that I talk to people younger than me. It's like me and my dad woke up in the middle of the night to watch USA shoot those first missiles to Iraq. That's how big of a thing it was. It was literally one of the first one that was properly televised when USA decided to go do a regime change and steal their oil. Cuba is just across the Mar-a-Lago. Trump shouldn't threaten Cuba. I mean, maybe that's the reason why he is threatening Cuba, because he wants to build a bridge there so he can go and golf. I was all for Gaddafi and Libya. He done lots of good. They killed him because he wanted an Africa. I mean, he was trying to make a combined currency in Africa. Gaddafi is interesting. In one hand, he was a ruthless dictator. On the other hand, he did provide free education and healthcare to his citizens. But he was also a ruthless dictator. Bro, take a shower. Woody Harrelson, thanks. God bless USA, God bless Donald Trump. Nice. I don't think Cuba threats are just talk. Rubio was quite clear when he said that Cuba needs to be worried about it. They need to get away from Latam. We're not Venezuela. We will fight back. Ooh. Don't say that to Trump. And the second you put missiles above China, they will just shoot them down. Woody Harrelson, bro, mind your own business. Thanks, Melissa. I mean, I'm used to people just, bro, read my chat. The Venezuelans look like Dr. Riz. Oh no, I read that. What did I read? Is there any way that America is planning to take Modi to and put him in a cow farm? He likes cow. I don't know. If Modi is too comfy with Putin, which he is, maybe he becomes a threat and they might do something. We already know that Modi is quite chummy when it comes to Putin, and that's a red flag for Trump. Jorge, thanks for the follow. America will have their will nothing. It's my belief Cuba is next. I do think, Marco Rubio and Donald Trump both said the same thing. Caracas, Venezuela seems to be unhappy. Nigel, thanks for the follow. Cuba is already friend with US. Why Rubio want to invade? They don't have oil or something. It's free real estate after that. They can build more golf courses and I don't know. Cuba friends with the US, forget about it. They have tobacco. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Deterrence. MAD will be something all countries have in 1 to 20 years. It's going to be wild. Cuba has a lot of beautiful real estate. What happens when Greenland is in sights? Yeah, he's going to take Greenland. But you know what, guys? I have a work day tomorrow. What's your opinion on this? I just got on the live. Oh, sorry, Rodrigo. I need to. I can say my thoughts on this. It's quite fast. It's a good thing that Maduro is now out. Unfortunately, Maduro's regime is still in power, and USA is not in power in Venezuela yet. So they need to do another attack on Venezuela to gain power, unless they can force the vice president, who now is in power, to give power to the US. Once US gets power, they decide who is going to lead Venezuela in the future. So Venezuelans don't have any say in that. And also, the US oil companies are going to come and take the oil and maybe provide some of the profits to the Venezuelan people. Hopefully they do. We don't know about that because greed is kind of a thing. Des, thanks for the follow. Drama, thanks for the follow. Oh. And also, this is going to be the first of many. Koopa Perdidi, thanks for the follow. And unfortunately, they already threatened Colombia, Cuba, Mexico, and Greenland. Multinational corporations caring about the country they're pillaging. Hey, I mean, Henry, let us stream. What up, Kayet? There's so much trouble on the world, but we all live on the small dot on space. True. I agree with that. Jutta, thanks for the like. So it's not a good thing for Venezuela living in Venezuela. I mean, it depends how this goes. Depends how this goes. And if this goes well, I will give credit to Trump. If this goes to shit and they start a war with Venezuela, I'm gonna criticize. Because that's what an unbiased person does. Gives credit where credit is due and criticize if there's something to criticize. It's not the USA now. Well, it's not because Venezuela, the Maduro regime is still in control. Not really, but I might be in the future 30 years, 50 years. Are you Danish? I'm not Danish. All right. Now, we're all watching. Why are American liberals angry while Venezuela are celebrating their liberation? Stevie B, I mean, just fucking investigate yourself. I already said that literally minutes ago. Trump has given Putin a green light to Putin to China. Yeah, what country are you from? I'm from Finland, but I live in Ireland. Hayden, you're kind of wrong, to be fair. If you just open news, you would see that the vice president of Venezuela said that USA is not going to take over. They're not going to give the oil, and Trump is threatening it. So I recommend anyone who hasn't read the news for the past 12 hours, go and catch up. There's a lot of things happened within the 12 hours. Trump is such a doer. He does what he says. Great president. Okay. Are you a European pro-Trump? Why? I'm not a pro-Trump. I'm pro if people do good things, and if they do bad things, I call out them. You know, the usual stuff. Trump is still in the Epstein files. I know that. All EU countries are now talking about closing all US bases in European countries. Don't know about that. Len Stamo, thanks for the rose. Common sense. Common sense. The level of intervention needed to help Venezuela is extreme. The chances it going perfectly are effectively zero. I mean, it's going to require a lot of money. VP will find F around and find out too. Okay, nice. It was in Danish news. Yes. All right, now I thank everyone. I'm a USA. There should be no credit given they committed a crime. I do agree, but then again, if they manage to provide better life for the Venezuelans and they are not attacking Cuba or Colombia or escalating anymore, I think there's some credit to be given. Are you happy the US did this? Not really, because there's a lot of countries on their sites, and this is, I have a fear that this is the first one, and this could also start a resource war. So you're Scandinavian? No, I'm not. I'm not Scandinavian. That's bullshit. America did. They will face a judgment this year. Probably. USA might need some freedom, Laugi. I do agree. I do agree. Let's go spread some democracy in the United States. Talk about playing with fire. Yeah. What are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Finland isn't a part of Scandinavia. Didn't Katie make an official post about us taking Greenland? Yes. Yes, she did. Katie Miller said soon. What do Americans continue to tolerate Trump? I mean, over half of the country likes him, so. Also, you're perkele. Yeah, I'm perkele. I'm vittu saatana. Perkele jumalauta. Torilla tavataan. All of that good shit. Oh my god, if the fairy that grants such things could make that happen, I would be all about it. We would love to have you. Where in Ireland are you? I'm in my County Mayo. Go sleep. I've been saying that I'm going to sleep for a while, so. I love how Libs protest no kings and now are protesting. I mean, you're just demented. You're just a fucking idiot. I've never said that in this stream. And I'll never say that. I'm not protecting any dictator. Are you in Venezuela? Does this look like Venezuela? The irony, he talks about himself as a man of a peace yet risk all-out war. True. Zombie chat host. What? So a live where the reason why DT is having tantrum is because... Yes, I didn't get time to get to that, but yes. I read about this as well because Maduro was making fun of Trump by dancing, and Trump didn't want that. That's actually in New York Times if you want to read that. That's a good story. Who mentioned that? Boy Mom. Yeah, Boy Mom, 16. That's a good point. Handsome. Thanks, Elizabeth. You're awake when you're supposed to be asleep. Yeah. So as your Nokia phone. I don't have a Nokia phone. I used to work at Nokia. If you want to hear more about that, come to my next stream. I'll tell you all about that. I actually worked at Nokia. So, but now I have to call it now. This is a good stream and good topic. Hey, Rodelio, thanks. Rodelio Lopez, thanks for joining in. Hansen, thanks for the follow. Nokia stock bullshit. Nokia is still doing well. Westport, not in Westport though. Who's interested in Gold Card? I mean, I would be. Winterborn, Welshie, thanks for the follow. But now I need to call it quits because I am getting tired and I need to wake up in the morning and work. Do you honestly believe 50% of the US like Trump, maybe 1/3? I think it's 50% when the year started, but now it's not.